It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again, when I see you again. So let the light guide your way. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take always leads you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again, when I see you again.
It's a godful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mommy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go. But her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks through a sunken dream to the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen.
Good morning, grasshoppers. We're about 10 to 15 minutes away from our morning event. While we're waiting for this to start, we'll see where we are with the puzzle streak. Sailing. We can set up a nice pin. It's quite amazing that younger players think that they're losing material when they make a capture. For example, the opponent can take my rook. And of course we know that the knight is worth less than the rook. However, the pin that we're about to make on the next move. Now, this is most significant when it involves the sacrifice of the queen. Where does the queen go? The queen has 0 squares to move to. It looks as though we are trapping the queen, and they get to stop the trap of the queen by giving away a free piece. Being up a piece really means that we have a material advantage, and by having a material advantage we're going to be able to simplify. For example, the only thing stopping us from winning the rook with a double attack, and in order to win material, in order to play chess at a higher level, you have to have mastered these patterns of seeing forks, seeing weaknesses, where the king and the rook are on the same 2 diagonals. The only thing stopping it is this bishop. When we capture, we're able to win material. There could be some danger involved in this pawn being a passed pawn, but we have to be confident enough to know that we're going to be able to bolster that square. For example, when this queen moves up, the pawn is threatening to move forward. But we can stop this in many ways, including putting our queen on the square, on any square, On any square involving controlling the C2 square. So for example, we now have a little bit of an X-ray protecting the C2 square. So when the pawn reaches C2, the queen's able to take it. Because the queen is behind the pawn, it controls the square. And the long distance pieces, queens, rooks, and bishops, control every square on that file, rank, or diagonal, whatever line that is, across the board. And it's easy to forget that the pieces that are long distance pieces are dangerous on those files, ranks, or diagonals, even if something may be temporarily in the way.
Take 5, operator. Well, let me help you. Surprise.
What song is this?
Let me help you.
Every week it's operator.
In a different location. Happy Sunday, operator, with Rainbow said.
So much my party take.
Needless to say, let's just imagine for a moment that they attempt to play
1, 2, 3, 4.
for a perpetual check. We can simply step out of the way in one of two ways. We could actually step to the square G1 or to H2. I'm not choosing H2 just now because the pawn is hanging. Of course, king to F1 would be a grave mistake because we'd leave our king no room to move it. So by moving back, I'm assuming that we can avoid the perpetual check here by moving our king to H2. And black does have to stop. The queen from taking the pawn, and I'm kind of curious now as to how we're going to go about this. But it seems as though this is going to have to do. And they can't make a move that doesn't involve check because we are capturing the pawn with check and then we're protecting everything. We have an extra bishop to help the pawn become a queen. So trades favor the person who's up in material. Here we have a discovered check on the king that wins the rook. At the same time, creates a little bit of a problem because this pawn is ready to become a queen. With the king being drawn away, there's nothing stopping the pawn from becoming a queen. Even though we have equal material, the pawn on the 7th rank is worth more than your average pawn. So now we're faced with mate in 1. What is the opponent's big idea is a question that we have to ask ourselves every time. Every time something comes about. Now, on the other server, there are occasional drawing combinations, and I'm curious as to, though, believe that this could be one of them with bishop takes, queen check, and then we have a nice perpetual check. There's no way that the opponent can win this game because we'll be checking on all these diagonals, but we have an X-ray attack, as I mentioned before. We have an X-ray attack on the G3 square as well. So when we deliver this check, remember the long distance pieces control every square on the ranks, files, or diagonals, even if something is in the way. Well, we have the opportunity to sandwich in the king and force mate, thanks to the fact that the queen is supporting the G3 square with the help of this, pawn. We're actually checkmating. So we're not winning this knight, since it's defended by the knight on f5, so we can remove the defender of the knight. Now, is this enough to win? That is the question. He's going to attack our knight as a counterattack to his knight, but when we capture and he captures, we are actually going to be forking a bishop and the king. Like I said, the long distance pieces attack everything along that rank file or diagonal, that open line, regardless of what's in the way. It's true that it may not be an immediate threat, it may be an indirect threat because of the nature of what is hanging. Now it looks like we get to do it again. We get to attack the bishop one more time. Even though we have equal material, we're still picking off the bishop at the end of the combination. By the way, that bishop on b3 and the knight on h7 controlled all of those squares so the king was not able to move off the file away from the bishop. All right, what's the big idea? What's the big idea? The opponent is attacking a pawn.
Happy Sunday morning from Rogue Valley in Oregon.
Let's move on. We're testing a new playlist. We may get muted, we may get copyrighted, but we will at least have a little bit more fun. Now we are capturing a pawn. They're capturing a pawn. Not too happy with that. I don't see anything further. However, if the queen were to be on this square b4, where would it go from there? All we really need is a second rook to attack the queen. We'll see what he has in mind to save his queen here. Apparently nothing, right? We can see that there's no counterplay. Perhaps a little bit of counterplay, but it's too late. Too little, too late. How are we doing on time? We have a few minutes before we have to get to our event. Let's reload. Chester King, White Bishop 22, thank you for being here. This is a little more subdued over here now. Not as ugly, bold green as it used to be. I kind of like it. I do, I like it. I'm not happy about it not being as bold. You should know that you're streaming. We have 4 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
One of the beautiful things about Puzzle Streak is that you can leave it and come back within the same browser window, provided your cache is not cleared. I have made the mistake of updating Windows once when I was at like a 70. I was at a greater than my high score Puzzle Streak, and I restarted Windows and I never completed it and disappeared. My Puzzle Streak max is 75 and I've done it twice. But I've exceeded it once and I can't prove it because it went away. C'est la vie. So after rook to h7, the king is forced to g5, and then we have a nice move attacking 2 pieces at the same time. Don't be deluded by trying to go for checkmates, because once the king reaches this square, we're very fortunate that we have the fork again. However, the king can, of course, try to hide in front of the pawn, and then we don't have any fork. We're going to take advantage of the fork straight away. Win the queen, trade the pieces. After all, when he recaptures, he's also losing the bishop, and we're going to be a rook up. With a rook up, you don't need to concern yourself with trading queens. We have a very poorly placed knight. That does bother me. So we always have to look at our best and our worst placed pieces. Here's when we capture on this square, the knight can block. Because if the knight doesn't block, if the king goes to the h file, we'll have rook to h1. So the king must move to h7. So on rook to h1, the knight may move to h6. And then we can bear down on it again by doubling rooks. on the H file. The first move appears forced. What else is black threatening? Black is also threatening rook to d2. Do we have any more forcing a move since we're facing check? We have to go with the check because we're being hassled by possible checks. Now it's 3 pawns to 3 pawns, 2 rooks and a knight versus 2 rooks and a knight, each side having a queen and king. That goes without saying.
So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. See, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean. Yours are the
This is a very difficult one. If anybody has any suggestions, Chescudo. Uh-oh. What is going on here? I have not enabled my speech chat. Bottom of the board not showing. Oh, I hate when that happens. Thank you for telling me, Chescudo. Alexa, stop.
I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how
Chescudo in the house.
now you're in the world.
So how are we going to take advantage of this? Usually when I give lessons, I enlarge and shrink the board, so it makes it a little awkward. I apologize that that board wasn't showing. My first instinct is to play queen to c3, threatening mate, and improving our worst placed piece. And the rook check can then be met by rook to e2. Is it enough to win?
Pegasus sway.
We do have an extra
Said.
pawn.
RXC.
Let's go back just one moment, as Pegasus has noticed something that I omitted to notice after doing all of that talk earlier about the rook attacking everything on the ranks or files. The long distance pieces attack everything on the ranks and the files. I could see myself overlooking this if I were in a hurry. Very nicely done. Let's head back to our tournament, which is starting at any moment. In fact, we are paired with white bishop. I didn't have a chance to amend this. So we are going to return to our regularly scheduled programming. Now, I've decided that I'm going to have to take chess a little bit seriously because I'm tired of my rating going down, down, down. Let alone below 2,000, because I've been fooling around quite a bit. And my rating in this particular example, in rapid no less, you get, occurred because
Said. Calf time BRB.
FA time. I'm going with the modern approach, which is queen to f3. We reach a position that's remarkably similar to we both fall in love in mysterious ways.
Maybe just the touch of her hand. Oh, me, I fall in love with you
Every single day.
And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now
My king is being caught in the center.
take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking
If I am going to play these openings, I better know what I'm doing.
found love
Right where we are.
when
My king is being caught in the center.
And the crowds don't remember my name. When my hands don't play the strings.
I am very concerned about this, mind you.
I know you will still love me the same.
Do I sack the e5 pawn? Or do I just head it off and allow him to pin my queen to my king? He gets. Alright. Let's prepare to sacrifice. We can always seek counterplay later. People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of the plan. At least I'm way ahead in development now. Or at least equal in development. My plan was, of course, to go after that.
Just Kudo
said. I was wondering why it was so quiet.
Is my mic not working? Alright, well this was part of my plan. To threaten me. Right.
Just Kudo
said. Mic is working but in the beginning of the stream.
I see. Right where we are. Can I continue to threaten him in any way, shape, or form? Let's just consider this for a moment. He's threatening g5. And it looks like I might need to play knight takes. With a discovery on that queen, with the discovery on that. And g5, of course, is happening.
Said. Got a bit of rage last night losing a Classicla game against a cheater. Report them, they get banned and don't get my points back. OFC.
Of course. Well, that's interesting. It's possible that they didn't overtly cheat in your game.
T3 Lem
said. H.
T3 Lem
said. Q.
Good morning, T3 LM. LM. Queen H3, possibly. I seem to have gotten away with it, though. I am mildly concerned about this. Now, Queen H3, I was really concerned about the same problem of
Just Kudo
of this, but
said. Perfect game. I doubt it also got the someone you reported got banned thank you message.
T3 Lem
said.
we're going to keep the pressure on this pawn.
I call you trouble, you call me friend. I had no intention of losing.
Prepare some rook lifts. I'm under a minute, so I do have to be a little bit careful. Just a little bit careful.
Honey, what am I doing? How did I get this far?
Knight. No choices here. Do I need to seek some simplification? Am I concerned? I am. I am, of course, concerned. Let's start prying open some things. I know I'm losing a knight, but maybe, just maybe, I'm not losing a knight. Some small troubles are involved here as the e5 pawn is hanging. give my knight a square. Get f4, f3.
Cool, that was really good.
We have more dark squares to jump into should he push his pawn.
Hey guys, it's Jasmine. This is my entry for the Perez Hilton Can You Sing cover competition. Hi guys, this is
Oh, I thought my rating was his rating. Truth. And so is he threatening me in any way, shape, or form? He is threatening me. Let's keep restricting him. Yes, yes, yes. We're just going to continue our regularly scheduled programming, trying to remove the defender of his pawns. Get that mouse off the board. Can we? Try. A much more awkward ending than I expected or anticipated. Oh, I walked right into that one, eh? Where are you headed? That's a good move. I have very little choice here. Can I survive this? That's a good question. Trying for a little bit of counterplay here. Gegenspiel, folks. Gegenspiel. Gegenspiel. And can I stop that pawn from queening? It does not appear so. How rude. Right? Can't stop that pawn from queening so easily. Now he has a passed pawn on that side of the board. And he is driving me away. I'm a little lucky because I'm continuing my annoyance to his square. Barely alive, folks. Barely alive.
right from the start. You were a thief, you stole my
You might see that my king is restricted quite a bit. I'm in trouble.
I'll let you see the parts of me that weren't all that pretty. And with every touch time. Now you've been talking in your sleep. Things you never say to me.
And he's gonna fork me if I play that way.
Just give me a reason, just a little bit's enough. Just a second, we're not broken, just bent, and we can learn to love again. It's in the stars, it's been written in the skies.
Jasmine Thompson.
We're not broken, just bent, and we can learn to love again.
He is simplifying.
I don't understand where all of this is coming from. Thought that we were fine. Oh, we had everything. Your head is running wild again, my dear. We still have everything, and it's all in your mind. Yeah, but this is happening. And you've been having real.
My knight is on an absolutely horrid square. Let's not allow him to push his
There's nothing more than empty.
pawns anymore. Our love. Yeah.
Cyber
Nicely
Elf
done.
Elfizo.
Said. I passed along to Tiffany Andrews the good news about your plans to join us in July.
You mean Todd? I don't know Tiffany that well. I wonder if I'll be able to live stream my games from there. If anybody could allow it, it would be Todd. And I fully deserved a full point buy here. Arhan, it is your turn, man. We're going to watch our patron and massive supporter Ron of the stream on that 2-year subscription. Ron is playing a Grand Prix attack against the Sicilian.
Cyber
Just a
Elf
little
Elfizo.
unusual.
Said. She is Todd's sister and I'm pretty sure they talk on at least a weekly basis.
Oh, excellent.
Cyber Elf Elfizo.
Said. Ron, you're an absolute legend.
Thank you, Cyber Elf, by the way. And thank you, Tellum, on YouTube for the contributions to the stream. I probably might have played Bishop G5 myself before now, knowing that Bishop F2 check and Knight E4 check loses to Knight takes E4 because the Queen is still hanging. And I might have played Knight to D5 before as well. Take advantage of that post square because of check picking up the bishop. It couldn't be captured. But that doesn't mean that it's not good now. Time to start expanding on the queen side, maybe. Who doesn't love a little Tears for Fears? Sorrows, tomorrow. Bishop to G5 or A3. Well, that was not expected, but I know where he's headed. He's diving into those white squares. After all, what was the opponent's big idea? The opponent's big idea was to unveil the bishop. And now, life is looking a little tough for black. Sad world. I think after Bishop D5 check, King F8 was forced.
Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And I feel the way
Yeah, so on king f8, big moment of truth here, as the knight is threatening to take the bishop. What would be the continuation on that one? I'm sure that Ron is gonna have to do a little bit of backpedaling. So this is pretty forced, to be honest. D5 is the main, D4 is the main line, D5 is the main line against the Grand Prix, Queen takes D4. And I was thinking about Queen E3 check. That was a little bit more purposeful. Ron found a solid move, however. I also considered Queen to D3 as part of like the Scandinavian plan, Queen to D6. Tagging the pawn at the same time as developing our pizzas. Try not to retreat fully, Ron. Try to find a little bit more purpose in our play. Just a little bit more purpose. Queen to F4, was that an option as well? Queen to F4 was also an option, yes. Has been played before. So E3 is more common than G3. Fascinating. Knight F3, Wolfgang Ullmann, E3 transposes, however. This move actually puts it in the winners category. But here's where I was talking about possibly playing either bishop to G5 or the immediate knight to D5 with the bishop being under pressure. I'm amazed that Wolfgang Ullmann chose E3 over A3, in fact, because that was a third candidate move. No more book moves. So now the big moment of truth. Knight to D5 again. D6. Bishop G5, bishop takes F2 check. Followed by knight E4, knight takes G5. But we can just move our king. And we're threatening to capture on F6 and destroy his pawn structure. Castles is best, but bishop to G5 also yields an advantage. So now, knight to G5, bishop to G5, knight to D5, A3, queen to C2, knight to D4. Which of those moves is best? I liked Ron's move a lot, but I'm fairly certain that we should put our knight on D5 right away. Oh, they just want to develop the queen side with B3, E3, A3. Yeah, if I'm going to develop the queen side, I'm going to put a pawn on A3 and play B4 and bishop to B2. This is more of a standard plan that I would choose. Rook to B1 doesn't seem forceful enough. B3, bishop to B2 is much faster than A3 and B4. The knight to G5. H6. And I don't know that this is getting anywhere. Bishop to D5, king F8 is equal. As we discussed before, equal chances for both sides. I do have to run about 9 a.m. unfortunately. So I'm only going to be able to stream half of the tournament. I hope everyone sticks with it. What is happening here? It's 5 pawns to 6 pawns. The pawn on A7 is hanging. The knight might be trapped on E7. Looks like it can be bolstered. The pawn on b2 is falling. We have rook a4, f5. So do we play rook f6 first? Yeah, unfortunately he has f5. We don't have an easy way to get after his so f5, rook h4, rook h5, rook g5. Very long-winded. You can also try to consolidate with knight e5, knight g6. This closes the lines though. Or does it? White bishop is on it. So I'm sorry about the rating points, Chescudo. Was this here or was it on you got the thank you, someone you reported got banned message and you still didn't get your rating points back. So strange.
When your day is long,
It is doing well. G4
the night is yours alone.
or rook f3.
When you're sure you've had
Enough.
of this life, hang on.
Rook to e4. Keep the pressure on.
Don't let yourself go.
Rook to g4, rook to g8.
'Cause everybody cries,
Kind of like rook f3.
and everybody hurts.
Wow, he could fall for king g6, rook g4, king h6, king f2.
Sometimes
Knight f4.
everything's wrong.
Oh, king f1, I meant.
It's time
Knight f4.
to sing along. When your day is night alone.
I might have considered
If you feel like
rook f3 there. Rook h4.
if you think you've had too
Enough.
much
And it looks like Chester King's
hang on,
defenses are struggling a little bit.
'cause
King to g8. f7, king takes g7. So if king to g8,
comfort in your friends.
rook to g4.
Everybody hurts sometimes.
Get rid of all that stuff, that gobbledygook. I don't even see the board when I'm analyzing, to be honest. Is there no discovery here? G3. Bishop f8 check. Wins, exchanges rooks. By the way, bishop f8 check, king to f8, rook to h8 check. Picks up the exchange. So bishop f8 check, king to g6, rook to g7 check, king takes f6.
Pegasus Sway
said. We had chess youngsters who played district qualifiers for the grand final this summer, all went to grade nice, lots of parents watching.
I tell you, if there's one thing about Swedish life that I enjoy or appreciate the most, it is the fact that the parents are always very supportive. Go to a dark square. I would go toward the center, white bishop. But that might be my downfall. I might have played king to e1. And I would have pressured the pawn with bishop to g7. Because after we attack, they're supporting, but we're up a rook. Yep. And that's it, folks. King and rook versus king and rook, or worse yet, white can queen his pawn easily. B-pawn.
Pegasus Sway
said. HTTPS member Shaq SE show tournament Surflay ID.
Alright, thank you, Ron. So the first round pairings have just been made. Wait a minute. 5 wins, six points. 5.5 points out of 6. Elton Lindbergh. Detailed table. Wow. I see. This is a team tournament. Elton Lindbergh. After round 6. Where's our club? Ron? Oh, wait a minute. This was a 4-game match. This is the school chess club. Nicely done. I'll come back to that. Ariel Zamora. Bring out the professional me. I'm putting GTO on a little bit of a hold. Good, it's not in my what in the world? Love the way you lie. Oh. Love the way you lie. Oh. Yeah, I lost time with my queen. This doesn't really work. Why did I move so quickly? I actually had to give this move a little bit more respect. Fascinating. Okay. Well, he's not threatening anything just yet. Or is he? And now for something completely different. We have about 20 minutes left in this tournament before I have to get moving. Talk about the things that nobody does. Stopping me from playing b5. Probably I should have just taken the free pawn on d4. Well, I'll take it now. There's a small tactical problem here. Knight on b1 is pinned. I do have some technical difficulties. Wait a minute now. Am I just up a piece? I'm going to attack everything he owns, and he must retreat. Get our pawn breaks in, open our lines for our bishops quickly as humanly possible. Keep restricting. I do want to trade more stuff. Yes, I know that both of my bishops are on the same file. It does create a little bit of a problem. Am I threatening him? Just going to prevent any funny business. Relocate our knight to a better square that bothers his pawn. Again, we want to trade. Tackle those open files. Yeah, you can take that pawn if you'd like. We seek further exchanges and open lines. And trades.
"11 Jinping Chess
said. I started a classical tournament today. I'm on next round is in hours. What should I do? Pairings are not published online.
Well, let's consolidate here. You should prepare yourself. Do you know what color you are? Jinping Chess? Oh no, not a pre-move. Pre-moving. Stream delay sniping. We have time for at least one more game. So what happened in that game? Very unusual opening move. We're only looking at the master database for the most part. Queen to c7 is dubious, and I did allow Bishop to b5 check and a couple of captures. a6 was definitely considered. Knight f6 is probably standard. Keep a d4 square under control. No more opening moves after that.
11 Jinping chess.
Knight to d7 seems most reasonable.
Queen to b6 was better maybe.
No queen move was needed, really. No queen move was really needed. I just needed to get my pieces out. But you're right, queen to b6 was certainly better than queen to c7 if I was going to move the queen. But ultimately it was queen to c7 that won me the game because my opponent did not see, as we started the theme of today's stream, that all of the long distance pieces are attacking all of the squares on the open lines. And I should have taken the free pawn straight away. Played rather dubiously and my opponent let me have it again. And then of course it's game over after this. They have him listed as down a rook. Probably bishop to b4 check as an in-between move would have been useful, you'd think. But after king to e2, the rook would have been recapturing on d1, so I like this better. Seeking further exchanges. Seeking further exchanges. No need to castle to bring the rook into the game. I was threatening d5, knight to d5, for what it was worth, and then knight to f4. A relatively smooth game up until I played rook to c5. So here, it felt as though I should continue to challenge on this side of the board, since that's where my forces are concentrated. But I had an idea to break with e5 and remove the defender of this pawn. Oh, he already had this option to play rook to g4. And if I play the move g5 now, he has the option to play his pawn forward. So yeah, rook to c5 was definitely an inaccuracy. And this really helped me. Oops.
Oh mama, don't fuss over me. The way she tells me I'm hers and she is mine.
A lovely Memorial Day weekend, just chilling. By the way, we do have in our Discord the Golden Games assignments. The daily assignments are being kicked up again. The daily study assignments. And I'm going to have to create Uh-oh, I'm on the UK keyboard again? How do I switch over to the UK keyboard like that? Really annoying that when I hit the @ sign, it is the number 2. Or is it? Oh. Oh, my keyboard is okay.
Her fright and fury's fire, oh, but she loves like steep to the freezing, sweet and right and merciful. I'm all but washed in the tide of her breathing. she tells me I'm hers and she is mine. Open hand or closed fist, it would be fine. But blood is rare and sweet as cherry wine.
So I'll begin recording game analysis of the Golden Game assignments this weekend. Golden Games assignments that are assigned in the daily study assignments in the Discord. So start your studying now, compare your analysis, or to contribute questions to the streams as they happen. I think we're up to 4 pages, which is 16 games. I was doing 4 games every 2 days when I first started.
Aditya Krishna 77.
Thanks for following.
Thank you, Aditya. Good morning, sir. How are you, man? We also need subscribers to the YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube for notifications. Subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. So that when I do post new material, as I do every day for the daily stream and the specialty stream will be under Great Players, Great Game Studies. We'll start a new playlist for the Golden Games assignment. This is based on the best game from every informant, from informant number 1 up. If you don't know about Chess Informant, it is the #1 publication that has been educating grandmasters and world champions
Said.
from
Passing by
1960s
to say hi as I'm drowning in calculus.
Thank you for stopping by, Darkblade. Drowning in calculus. Well, I got a perfect score in calculus by not taking calculus. I was always a humanities, non-science person when I was younger. I'm more of a science person now than ever. Chester King. We're going with D4 this time. Do we want to play against the Karo Khan or do we want to play against the Slav? Let's go with the Karo Khan. Do we want to go with Knight C3 or are we going with the Panov attack? We're going with the Panov attack. To me, this is the better test of a stronger versus lower ranked player.
Darkblade 512.
Said. Haha, I think your approach might suit me after all.
It is ideal. Now, but Vinnick against Spielman in 1935 played the move Bishop G5, and I still believe that this is the move. I believe that Spielman played Queen to B6 going after. Now, in this particular case, I believe that D takes C4 was the better move. We're just going to gain the time in the opening since we're here. All right. Hello. Just going to try to overwork him in as many ways as we can.
I can see your halo. 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 I can see your.
This is a little bit of a problem, sir, don't you think?
I can see your halo.
Queen E7 runs into Bishop takes D7.
I can see your halo.
But could well be forced as we attempt to complete our development. Yes. Now, do we go for it with knight e4, or do we castle queenside? Well, that's interesting. He didn't capture on D2, on E2, which I thought he had to do. So as knight takes F3. Sorry, knight takes A2, knight takes C3, check. We'll just step out of that danger a wee bit. Queen to A5 check doesn't really accomplish anything. My goal is just to get my pieces to the best possible squares as fast as humanly possible. Which might mean knight E2, knight C1, knight D3, knight C5, or knight B3, or knight F3, knight D2, knight C4, depending on how things are developing. Knight F3, rook E1. Hopefully everyone is playing, training, and enjoying the effort that we are making. Do I give up the pawn for the A7 pawn by just trying to rapidly develop, or do I just exchange and use the gain of time to determine where my knight is headed next? But what really matters is, where is his bishop going? Let's send his knight packing for a moment. And now we can make this decision again. It's going to lose a little bit of time with knight C7, but this will allow me to reroute my knight. I'm going to give up on the C5 plan.
You had a chance and you took it on me.
Oh no, did I fall to that tactic? That's very sad. I traded the A3 pawns. Or the A pawns. Pardon me. Well, that's fascinating. So he's getting his center pawn back. But let's let him put his knight on D5 before that happens. So we have an extra exchange with even pawns, and I have an isolated passed pawn. But I do have both open files. The D3 square is a wee bit of trouble.
You made a wish and I fell out of time.
We're going to have to batten down some hatches with G3, more than likely, before I can move my knight.
You made me bleed when I look up and you're not around, but I'm in pieces. Pick me up and put me together.
The knight has a few choices: E4, C5, B3, C5. I'm afraid that at 9 o'clock this might be my last move, as I have to rush out the door. Okay. And now do we start pressuring his pawns? We have to secure our pawns first. I didn't hear him move. Now that knight looks like it is almost trapped.
Fall 1-4.
Said. Hi Master Chess Dojo.
We're going to develop our king with a little bit of a gain of time. Good morning, Paul. How are you? We're celebrating the birthday of Svetlana Petrenko, a Romanian Moldavian chess player.
I found myself dreaming in silver and gold.
Are we going after this, that, and the other thing? We need to simplify this position as best we can. Make certain that it's just a rook versus a bishop or just a rook versus a knight. It makes no difference to me, this endgame.
Arhan Javarai.
Said. Hi.
Good morning, Arhan. How are you, man?
I woke up in tears with you by my side, a breath of relief, and I realize now.
Business as usual. Arhan, I hope you complete the tournament. I'm happy you guys are both playing.
So I'm gonna love you
This is a fork,
like I'm gonna lose you.
as I am going to simplify this position. Improve my king position as well.
Saying goodbye, wherever we're standing. I won't take you.
So now, with the rook versus bishop, the less material that is on the board, the greater the advantage becomes, by the way.
When we'll run out of time.
The less material that is on the board. So let's just take, for example, if you're down a rook with 39 pieces of material on the board, the rook is 1/8 of the material, 39 pieces for both sides, 1/8 of the material. However, if you take away half of the material, then it becomes 2/3 to half of the material on the board. It becomes 1/4 of the board. I apologize. So if you took half of the material off the board, and then if you take another half of the material off the board, the value of the material advantage becomes more and more significant the greater the amount of pieces that are exchanged, because that small amount of material, if you're down one pawn, for example, with 39 pieces on the board for both sides, well, 38 for one side, it's a very microscopic amount of material. But if you're down one pawn with no material on the board, material advantage becomes more and more significant the greater the number of pieces that are exchanged.
I won't take you for granted, 'cause we'll never know when we'll run out of time.
Let's check on my other friends who are out there. Do we have another streamer streaming our event? Not today. It does happen that way at times. It is at moments like this that I don't wish to always raid someone else. Or we can raid a tournament that we can watch while we play our tournament. So we're going to raid one of my favorite channels, especially since the FIDE Women's Grand Prix is going on. Thank you everyone for being here. I must run. Other Memorial Day family engagements calling. I lost a few rating points for the day, but that doesn't matter. If you are your strength, your rating will adjust.
Said. Are you rating FIDE?
My rating is low. L-O-W. Below my standard, below my par. I am not what I used to be. I'm probably down 200 points from my peak rating, which is why I would prefer not to have to speak about it. So meanwhile, please continue the training. Please make sure that you have the calendar.
Paul 104
said. TDS doesn't know how to pronounce FIDE.
I believe that in some countries they do call it FIDE, like Wi-Fi. Here in the United States we say Wi-Fi, and that would be FIDE in the United States, or it would be Wi-Fi and FIDE. So maybe we're just pronouncing Wi-Fi wrong. My Wi-Fi connection is strong. And we have 9 rating. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Cheers and ciao.